I feel like we've both been off the energy drinks a little bit. You more than me.
Yeah.
I've snuck them in.
I've been buying them from Sheets. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say.
That's where I get my ghost.
He's
now.
you're like undercutting me.
Sponsored by Sheets.
Sponsor, yeah. Because I've been keeping my caffeine intake a lot lower actually. Because I think we talked about it in the past, but not doing pre-workout really in the morning. Extremely rare now. Just been doing coffee. And at first you feel like you don't have it as much, but a lot of it's placebo. So once you get used to it, so I've been enjoying getting back into that because I am a huge fan of just specialty coffee and brewing it. It takes a little bit more time, obviously, than just popping in a scoop, but it's been pretty good. And because of that, though, I give myself a little bit more of like a leadway with caffeine later in the day. So I either brew another cup, or what I often do is just kind of grab a drink, like 4 or 5 days out of the week. So I'd like to get that lower. But I tell you, dude, 3-4 o'clock rolls around, and I either kind of kick dirt for like the last 2 hours, a little bit. Like I'll get work done, but probably like 60% speed, or I can turn up to that second gear, power through the day. You know,
there's
what I
a
mean?
tipping point too. For me, it's like, all right, it's 3 o'clock, or some days it's like 1:30. That can be like that.
Yeah, there is a point where you're
and
like,
it's like
I can go down 2 directions.
It's a or B path.
Yeah.
Are we gonna hit the nitrous? Or are we just gonna keep it on cruise control?
Yeah. Are we hitting the freeway? Or are we taking the easy route? You
Or
know,
some
the
days I'm
slow
just
route?
like, you know what, I'm gonna pull it over and park and
Yeah,
I'm done for the day.
Sometimes it's like that. It's like fuck it, going home.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, we're back, y'all. This is the All or Nothing Show.
People were missing us.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Which I do like. You know, it feels good to get messages like that. I forgot the guy's name that sent me a message. He follows both of us.
I think it was like Mike, but it also had no profile picture,
Yeah.
which is usually like, are you a Russian bot?
Yeah.
You know?
But he specifically
real,
reached out. And he commented on like a thing in the past. But anyways, it's cool to actually see that because it's like, damn.
Well, it's like I told you. It's like we don't have a big fan base, even though we've done 100 episodes now at this point, which is kind of strange. But we do have, I feel like, some consistent people, especially at the gym. I like listening to like Chandra come up or Trey or these different people, and they'll be like, hey, whatever you talked about. And it's, you know, we would just shoot the shit anyway. And obviously this podcast doesn't bring in a bunch of revenue or any, but it's fun to just have some conversations, and then also, you know, have other people close to us like chime in and things like that.
Hell yeah,
so
dude.
It's a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, this show's sponsored by
Sponsored by-
Gym Flow.
Yeah, as always.
Pump just dropped. It's been going great. People have been eating the fuck up of sour sucker punch.
All right, now back to the show.
Yeah. But that's been good. It's been good. Pump release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, a couple things. I had notes for like, I think 2 weeks ago that I was going to talk about the show, so I'll bring them up now. I'll kick it off with a funny one.
What's up? What you got?
Maddie showed me this, or told me about this. There's some reel she saw. She asked me about it. And I thought it was the dumbest shit I'd ever heard. So apparently, I think it's a guy spouting this. He was like saying, are you one of two things for peeing? And he believes one is much more efficient. So
he's asking dudes this?
When you pee, when you're done, do you like tap and flick it, or do you like pull and like hose it out?
Oh, like toothpaste.
Kinda, yeah.
No.
Dude, no one fucking does that.
And I don't just tap it. I mean, I flick
it. You kind of like flick it, yeah.
Yeah, just
no, but I told Maddie, I was like, dude, nobody is hosing out their dick to get the last drop. Everyone's just tapping, flicking, and if you have a few drops in your underwear or your shorts, no one cares.
No.
But no one's out there just fucking hosing out their shit.
There's been plenty of times, though, where I've tapped, and I'm done.
Yeah,
but I pull it back in, and that shit's fucking leaking.
Well,
it's
sometimes,
like, what the fuck is going on?
if you're like me and you flip it out the waistband puts a little bit of pressure.
No, so you go over the top rope.
Yeah.
I go through the wormhole.
Well, a lot of my shorts, they have a fake fly.
Okay.
So that's why. Yeah. If I have a fly,
do you pull your balls out, too?
Do you put the balls in the condom? Yeah.
I just visualize that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
You're
feel
that
out
guy
the
that
condom.
fucking just drops his drawers to the fucking ground, ass cheeks out,
like a 4-year-old.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Dude.
But no, so I'm a tap. Two or three, like
I bet money 95% of guys are tap flick. You know,
I've never seen.
Dude, no. Well, I don't look.
Well, the thing is, maybe I'm not long enough to have that problem. If the thing's long enough, you got a long enough hose. You do have to stretch it out a little bit. You know?
Maybe we just outed ourselves.
They're like, oh, these guys don't pull out. They don't pull it.
Yeah,
They're flickering.
They must be. They must have little ones.
Stubby.
Yeah,
the
stubbies.
short nose.
Yeah. If you're a guy, comment or shoot us a DM. Let us know which you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was.
What did Maddie think you did?
She didn't know, but she just asked as if it was a 50-50 thing. I was like, nobody does that. Nobody.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never heard that.
Getting back to a statement I made earlier, if the option is there, are you over the top rope or are you through the wormhole?
If the option's there, I'm through the fly. It's what it's for. Yeah.
But I still know people that dodge the fly and pull over
Dude,
the top.
funny side note, it was very brief when I was like young as shit.
You ever done under the pant leg? Short leg?
I thought you meant through the short
no.
leg.
I
ain't got the foot long.
Oh no, but I mean you pull it up a little ways. You pull it up a little
Okay,
ways.
yeah.
I mean, you gotta. My shit ain't down to my knees either. Unfortunately.
All right. What I was saying was, from like 6 years old to like 9, I forgot how to use a fly. Like I knew it was there, but I was like, I don't know. I remember having this situation where I was like, I don't even remember how to use it. But then it clicked back when I was like, no, I was like, oh, it's like pull here, open it up, then let your dicky do go. Yeah.
I did. Speaking of this, I had a thought about it because I have a pair of briefs with the fake fly in it too.
Yeah.
Which I think's retarded. Just don't even put a fly there.
It is pretty stupid.
Briefs.
For briefs, yes.
Yes,
I was gonna say
don't even put a fake fly there.
Yeah.
It's a pair of briefs. And so I was like, man, when they made the first pair of briefs or underwear, whitey tighties, whatever, how was it a man that created it or was it a woman? Because most likely women were making fabrics back in the day, and they were like, oh, if we put it like this, the dick's just going to slide through.
Well, dude, you know they got something new now.
They got the what?
It's a vertical fly.
Hold on.
I thought it was
up and over?
I don't know. I need to look it up. I thought
Pull
it
was
was
up on YouTube.
Yeah, I do need a YouTube. It's a new one from like Tommy John or something like that. I saw it on a commercial and I was like, wait a minute, did they put a pocket on the front of your dick for like a credit card?
Hold on.
That makes no sense. And then Maddie said, no, it's a.
What about like a tap door where just you tap it, flops down? I mean, it's like the ass.
Oh, like
ass
a latch.
Yeah, like a latch. It just flops out.
I don't know about that, but see how that's in the front. I don't know how that would be better.
Because that'd put a big kink in the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like
what if you like your finger slipped and it just like fucking your dick went flying up, you know? Yeah, they don't have
a big
so
kink in it.
Not that I'm looking to look at dicks, but they don't have a demonstration of like how it works, you know. But I just feel like that's too. I don't know.
Is that a hole right there in the middle?
No, that's just a crease. But yeah, I don't know.
They don't have a description of how it works?
I don't know, dude. But essentially, for those listening, like probably at most 2 inches, maybe an inch and a half from like the waistband. Yeah. There's like a seam across, kind of like a pocket. Horizontally, like a pocket. And somehow your junk is supposed to, I guess, there's an internal fly and it goes through there. But it doesn't seem functional.
Maybe that's where the girls are supposed to slide in those dollar bills.
That's what I was thinking.
For the show.
I need to get off this underwear website. This one dude looked like he had a camel toe. I was like,
oh,
you never know these things.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
It's called a moose knuckle.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, I don't even know if it's really worth talking that much, but we did announce we're moving to Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a thing. I don't really want to expand on it too much because I don't really, want to just talk about B or know what people are wondering. But
well, I guess, clarify, is the gym, you selling the gym?
Yeah, so I'll nail all that. No, the gym is not, because Maddie did get a lot of questions that were kind of like, I don't want to call them stupid, but they're a little repetitive, especially concerning, here's my
people
thing.
Don't have an idea of how you can run a business.
Well, but here's what grinds my gears, is when people ask questions that they didn't take 5 minutes to look up themselves. For example, if I'm just maybe I'm a member, maybe I'm just a regular Joe, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Maybe I should go see on their Instagram if they've posted about this. That seems pretty important, right? That we would post about it. So you go to the Instagram, like, oh, important message. Click on that. There's a whole description and letter explaining not only why we're doing it, but also how the gym's going to operate, if we're selling it or not, all that kind of stuff. So all the information is there, and the members got emailed that morning of as well. But anyway, fast forward to the questions that are still there. Fair enough. No, we're not selling it. We're still retaining complete ownership. That was another question. Essentially, you're going to be kind of like managing it for us with assistance.
People have called me the guy already.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be the guy.
Do I have to transfer the the plate from the door? Yeah.
Like, knight me.
Yeah, you're now dude guy.
The dude
or guy dude.
Yeah.
But so Austin will actually be kind of like our hands-on, eyes on the ship type deal.
I'll choke a motherfucker out.
Yeah, he'll choke a motherfucker out. He subleases here, so he has a good reason to keep the gym running and profitable.
Yeah.
So he's going down with the ship. But yeah, so Austin will be the guy who knows the gym, knows the members here all the time, so it just made perfect sense rather than hiring someone outside. We also have a member that's close to us that I really trust his discipline and responsibility to kind of manage some of the janitorial things that he'll help do for us. And then we also have some other people lurking that will be there if need be, or like if someone's out on vacation, things like that. So just trust that we have the gym in good hands, and as well as I think people forget how automated the gym already is. They see me every day.
But people forget that they scan in to get into the building.
You scan in to get into the building. Yeah, I know that was something we were joking about the other day because people are like, how are people going to get in? Well, how they always get in.
Yeah.
Like, sure, a lot of people come during staffed hours and, they just walk in. But sometimes I forget to unlock the door. Sometimes I have to run out. And, it makes no difference to them. It just takes an extra 2 seconds. They just scan in.
And I'd rather not have to see your face.
Exactly. No one wants to look at this mug. So, same thing for people to scan in, same thing for people to really work out, do anything. The bathrooms will be taken care of. We have a consistent cleaning crew that's going to come in as they did like last week. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be the same. So, I'm really trying to hopefully instill confidence in people that nothing is going to change, and actually things might even be like cleaner, even be better, honestly. So, yeah, trust that the gym will be kicking ass as usual, still be adding in new equipment throughout the year, all that jazz, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. And again, I'd like to reiterate why the move. Maddie and I have lived here our whole life, and as much as like we love Virginia, when you're young, it's a good time to try and take more risks, move out, do things like that. So we've been eyeing Colorado since we've really kind of known each other. It's been like the Utah, Colorado, Midwest type area. There's some brands and different athletes or influencers and just people in general that I know that are in that area. So we already have some connections that I'd like to meet or to kind of flourish into greater relationships. But so that's one thing, is just some opportunity as well as just more outdoor and adventure. Virginia has some great things, but it's not as mountainous. It's more consistent greenery and trees and things like that. And a lot of it too is just time for growth. Sometimes you got to step outside of your comfort zone, and if you never really make that big purchase, that big risk, you never take it.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck spinning the same wheel. So it's a chance for us to almost like take a step back, reevaluate some things, and maybe in a few years we move back and we use that as a rental property. So who knows?
I mean, I understand it obviously because I see you. I've talked to you about it for months now, yeah. And it's like, this isn't something y'all just on the limb, just because from the outside. But a lot of people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
they're leaving." It's like, no, I mean, this isn't like something they just woke up Monday and was like, "Hey, we're doing it, we're leaving." But I also think people, it's kind of like not upsetting. It's like, man, I wonder where their headspace is for some people that like just don't realize that if you want to do something, you can do it. I mean, it's like y'all are doing. Like a lot of people are like, "Whoa," like. I guess making it much bigger. I mean, it is a big move for y'all.
It is a big move.
Making it bigger, almost like an impossible feat that y'all are able to. It's 2022. You can run a business from literally anywhere. You can move. You can be as fluid as you want to be. As long as you have a cell phone, you can do anything you want.
I think that's a really good point. And takeaway from this is, it really is. I mean, there's obstacles, but it's pretty simple, dude. If you want to do something, you just gotta take the steps to do it.
Yeah.
Like. So I saw this reel to that point that I really liked, and it was basically saying, like, why do people not lose weight or do X, Y, or Z goal? It's not because we don't have enough information. We know how the body burns fat. We know how to exercise. There's infinite, YouTube workouts, at-home stuff. There's the information's there.
Yeah.
It's people aren't willing to do the work. And it's not even just to do the work for a few days. It's having that long-term vision.
I think that's the bigger thing.
To do it day after day after day with no reward in sight. You might not even see the carrot at the end of the stick. You're just believing that there is a carrot.
Yeah.
And eventually, you're only a few feet from the carrot and you're like, oh, fuck, here I am. And then, you can push through that finish line. But a lot of people can't even, make it 10 feet.
I won't say I've had that mindset before, but I've been that gullible in the past when starting even Gym Flow. I've mentioned this a few times. Like when we started, it was like, oh, we're all quitting our jobs in 3 to 6 months. We're going to be doing $250K a month, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, shit. No, this is the long game. You got to have some fucking grit.
You know who's got the biggest balls? Yeah. Is the people that fail and then try the same business again. Oh, yeah. Like I saw someone reposted that, I didn't know this, maybe you didn't. Bang, they tried to do that years before. Mm-mm. Yeah, they tried to do Bang years before, and it was branded as Bang, but, different. They obviously didn't have big-titted girls and the whole vibe and the lifestyle and whatever the hell they do now, but they tried to release it because it's funny. A lot of people don't know it's owned by, isn't it Redline is like their main company? No one takes that shit. Somehow it sells. Again, we could talk about that for a while, but to that point, to like Christian Guzman's gym, again, a lot of his success I think came from his YouTube, but still to the point, failed business, a year or two, learned from it, saved again, and tried it again. That takes a shit ton of grit, let alone like we talked about, just taking those first few steps. I mean, people just love, especially, with the rise of Gary Vee and even Andy Frisella and these people that, we love and listen to, whatever. They're instilling the confidence for people to start. And starting, I don't know. People say starting is the hardest part. Do you think starting is the hardest part? I think starting is the easiest. And I think starting is the...
You can see it around us. People start businesses left and right or be CEOs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Everyone's a CEO. Everyone's got an LLC.
It's very easy to start.
It's very easy. It's exciting to start. It's fun to start. Yeah. It's hard to stay with it.
It's easy to quit, too.
That's a thing with fitness, too. People don't you hear this a lot? People are like, oh, the first thing, the hardest part is the first step. Kind of is, but I don't think that's the hardest part. It's hard. It's not the hardest part. The hardest part is sticking with it over and over and over. And 2 weeks when you still haven't lost weight, sticking with it, Yeah. I was telling my client, as we were talking generally about this, I think he was talking about, his parents or his, like, friends that are overweight or whatever. And we were talking about how I told him basically it's pretty much impossible to eat healthy food as long as you're not consuming an insane amount of it. Eat healthy, whole foods, and train your ass off. You cannot have a shitty physique. You can't, like, look sloppy. If you do that consistently, not in like a day, not in a month, but if you consistently for months, if not a year, train hard, multiple times a week, and eat right, you can't fail that way. Yep.
And I guess to reword that, because some people might nitpick it and be, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you're moving in the right direction. You can't be going, you aren't going down.
Yeah, you're not going to look like Steve Cook or some model. But, you can't get worse. You can it's only up from here.
Yeah, you're only improving.
Yeah.
Getting better. Because some people might start off super obese.
Yeah,
like that, but, you aren't going to be going the wrong direction by any means.
I mean, it pretty much is that simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same deal with, making a big move. When people are working a job, I think a lot of people my age or, some of the guys we have here at the gym or people that and we talk about, once you leave college, you get your first, like, staple job, kind of. A lot of people do, right? And it's really hard to get out of that once you're tied to the business insurance. You got a mortgage or you got, rent you got to pay. And you're like, okay, I'm getting this guaranteed paycheck. That's really nice.
Yeah. And I think it's more so these people, they get into that job, they get comfortable, they get into what's called, and I forgot who said it.
Yeah.
But it's called lifestyle creep, where they start buying the car, they buy the shit, they buy the responsibilities, those payments, and they're like, oh shit, I can't quit this job because I got $10,000, I got $8,000 a month worth of payments to make for a car, a house, these shoes, this and that, and it's like, fuck. I got to stay here. I can't jump ship because I've buried myself too much with, because over time, your lifestyle, the more money you make, the more money you spend.
You've kind of like eliminated your chance of risk.
Yeah.
Or you've made the risk even higher.
Yeah.
But the reward is almost the same.
Lifestyle creep, something like that.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's a good point. And not to say that you can just immediately go from 1A to 1B, but people act like because let's say, for example, it might be, I'm just going to use an analogy, 1 mile trip for me, and it's maybe 3 miles for you, doesn't mean you can't start the trip. For example, if you have some debt that you have to pay off that maybe I didn't accumulate, and it's not my fault that I didn't accumulate that, you know what I mean? But let's say you have some debt, you've been lifestyle creeping, you bought the car or whatever. Maybe you need to take a little bit more time to pay off some student loans, pay off this or that, so then you can take that risk, So it might take you extra mileage, extra time, extra years.
Some sacrifices.
To make the same jump that someone else did or make the same decision that someone else did. But that's still a hell of a lot better than staying in the exact same position you are.
Yeah.
And it is that simple, though, as far as, no one's going to quit your job for you. No one's going to start the business for you and push through it. No one's going to do whatever for you. And so it's up to you to make those really uncomfortable decisions to where you do have bills creeping down your neck and pressure, breathing down your spine. And you just have to learn to deal with the pressure. Something that I feel like I thought about on my run was in high school, whether it be with, girls and relationships or, even playing sports. I feel like I was really risk adverse, like I didn't want to make the first move. I didn't want to be made fun of. I didn't want, XYZ to happen. But then after some years training in the gym and kind of having, these failures, I learned, I was like, what's the fucking worst that's going to happen? You're going to fail? Okay, you learn, you move on, But if you never take a risk, you're never going to get anywhere. You're guaranteed to not have any kind of
if you never start, you'll never get
exactly. It's like I was telling Peyton when we were talking about social media too, was I was saying, if you don't post at all, what you're going to get. 100% you're going to get nothing from social media. Versus if you put time into it and post, you're not guaranteed success, followers at all. But at least there's the opportunity to get it. So if you're looking at both options, option A, guaranteed 0. Option B, probably not big, but something small, an opportunity for success or big or whatever, sponsorship, whatever you want to call it. Why the hell would you choose the guaranteed failure? Or if you're looking down the barrel of 40 years at an insurance firm that you don't like working, or you're looking at, okay, maybe a little bit risky, but can get a little bit of adventurous, might deal with some struggles, but at least I'll be living. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of people
look at that.
Underestimate, not to say I don't want more, because I could probably go get a job and make more money guaranteed
for sure
than
you
what
could,
I do now, a hell of a lot more, because I don't make much. But I think there's a difference in being happy or knowing that I'm doing it on my own terms than being unhappy, being in a forced structure of, that 9 to 5 or whatever. I don't know, man.
I think we almost, and not to say we have it easy, because also we chose to be in the position we are today and worked for it. But I think we've been removed from working for the man for so long that we don't realize how good we've got it. Not as far as no one else can do it, but I mean as far as sometimes it's nice to step back and realize, damn, we do get to come to, your own office, your own gym, whatever it is, and you're not checking you're not clocking in anywhere.
Yeah.
It's up to you, which is, a scary thing, but also an exciting thing. But it is something I forget, until you said it. It's you could easily just go and hop and get a job somewhere. But, man, I just can't imagine, Maddie, for example, when she's had some Fridays off. And for those who don't know, yes, we have the gym. Maddie owns it with me. But we don't pay. We basically funnel the money back into the gym, so we don't pay it out. Not that we couldn't. We just choose not to.
Yeah.
So essentially, Maddie works another job at this this business that staffs corporate gyms. She makes good money doing that, so why not do that? Anyway, point is, she's still kind of working for the man in a sense right now. And, when she has those Fridays off or the extra day off, she's almost dreading going back to work. And I know that feeling because I remember it. And I just couldn't imagine going back to it. And to your point, you might be sacrificing some money, which especially for people who have kids or a wife or a mortgage, it can be hard to make that decision. But reality is kind of what you make it. It's up to you to change your outcome.
I also imagine, I forgot who said this, and since I don't have kids, I don't have the perspective.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I was in a situation where I had a kid on the way or kids coming or something like that, yes, I'd maybe try and stay as safe as possible while going through the birthing process. But like after that, it's like, wouldn't you want to set an example for your kids that you went in on you, like you did your dreams or you chased after them, to like hopefully inspire or show them, instead of being like, oh, yeah, it just wasn't cut out for me, you know, I had to do 9 to 5, which, you know, is okay. It's, you know, you're a parent, you're paying the bills, you're getting it done, it's cool. But like thinking for your own life and like the influence you could have on your kids or those around you, your wife, your spouse, whatever, of being like, hey, I went all in.
Yeah. There's certainly something respectable for making that sacrifice and, you know, guaranteeing your child has a great Christmas. And although you may not be setting the example of, you know, some entrepreneur that does X, Y, Z, maybe you're saving for that kid's, you know, college expenses so he can move on to create a better opportunity. That's something respectable. But at the same time, to your point, you can always, you can do both.
Yeah.
Is I guess what I'm saying.
And you don't have to be an entrepreneur. I'm saying just getting out of what you hate doing, like being stuck in that job and like, oh man, I fucking hate Mondays.
Yeah.
But you know, you could find something else, work for somebody else.
Yeah, too many people do what they hate every day and don't take any action to change it.
Yeah.
But to flip the switch.
What's good?
I had a massage. I didn't get to talk to you a ton about it.
Yeah.
But I had a massage 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And I have another one actually a week from today. One of our members at the gym, his wife is a massage therapist, pretty close by. And I kept putting it off for years. I'm like, oh, I'll get a massage therapist, blah, blah, go consistently. Just never did it, you know. And some of it's a little bit like money, but I know I can afford it. It's just more biting the bullet on that money and knowing it's worth it, and then making it a routine and taking the time to do it. So went and, you know, for those of you that have been listening for a while, you know, I've been dealing with some IT band stuff on my right side. But I also, just like most people, have some tightness in my back. So I was going in there with kind of those two purposes in mind. And she kind of worked me full body, which I definitely, you know, needed, because as she was going through it, not only were my hips fucking jacked up, you know, like lying, you know, face down, she kind of put pressure on the side and just worked my hip. And man, I was just tore up from that, as well as like areas that you don't really expect, like kind of like my rear delts are into that pec, as the pec feeds into the delt, was stupid tight too. But I'm really looking forward to making that a routine. You know, even when we move, I want to make that like a urgent thing to find another massage therapist to just keep that in. Because, you know, the analogy I made to myself was, I told you the same thing, you know, if you think about a car, think about if you never took your car to get maintenance and you ran like 70,000 miles on it, you'd be like, you're bound to find some shit fucked up. Versus like, you know, although I'm young, I have been lifting for 7 years now. And sure, I stretch. I actually do a really good job since like day one of warming up, stretching. But it's not the same as getting actual deep tissue work and, you know, taking a look under the hood, so to speak.
It sucks because that should be just as much or just as important as the lifting, as recovery.
Yeah. Well, you know, you read it in like textbooks and you hear people say it, but it doesn't really click. But you don't grow in the gym. No. You literally get smaller in the gym. You atrophy. Yeah. But it's the time away from the gym, the time resting, eating, that's where you actually grow and get bigger. It sounds so counterintuitive, and you understand it when you read it, but
I'm like, no, I gotta lift these weights.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Bro.
It doesn't. Yeah, feel right. You know,
until you get to the point where lately it's been for me. I had like once I got on TRT, I had like a 2-3 week period where I felt fucking great, and then slowly, I think it's just from stress mainly, but I had Austin Michael pop my back. My back's still fucked up.
We're blaming him. We're suing.
Yeah, well, I got him to crack my back on the floor. Shouldn't have, because it was a rig.
Well, you know the floors aren't flat.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why my spine. So you and him are getting sued. But, yeah, so I actually had a massage, too, a few days ago, and it loosened it up a little bit, but it's still stiff as fuck. I wake up 3 times throughout the night, like, immobile. Like, can't move my shoulders so tight and fucked up.
And I'm assuming you've obviously tried the balls out there as much as you can.
I'll wake up and immediately do like a 10-minute yoga and
different
like roll
things,
out and shit like this morning I did. And it gets better as I move throughout the day.
Yeah, it
but
makes sense.
Throughout the night, I stiffen up like rigor mortis, just fucking. And which impairs me lifting weights. Like I can't lift any weight.
So like
right
more
now.
like tightness.
Yeah.
Not like soreness?
No, it's tight.
Huh.
Like, I can just tell the shoulder's like locked up and tight. Man. And not like the shoulder, it's the scapula that's the locked up part. So it fucks the shoulder up a little bit.
Yeah, I think if anything, you should try and do deep tissue work rather than the Rolfing or whatever.
Yeah.
But, the sad thing is, I was talking to Alex out here, before, a physical therapist that comes. He made a good point. It's like peeling back layers of an onion. You're not going to fix it with one stretching session. It's going to have to be repeated and consistent work on it. And then eventually, you can get to the inside. But
I'm trying to be a realist with it because I'm like, hey, this is years of me not stretching. So you think one session or 2 sessions of stretching is going to loosen it up? Probably not. It's going to take a good amount of time to start cracking away at it.
Yeah.
And I think the fact, and this just goes for me being as immobile as possible, has created imbalances which only magnifies one side being tighter than the other.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
With training, what I've been thinking about recently
quitting
is fuck all this lifting shit, dude. No, but it's funny because so I've been implementing some more stability and functional stuff, especially with legs, just to strengthen some areas that I feel like are maybe not causing the IT band issue, but are definitely limiting factors and like leading to some issues. But like I'll show you this one. Essentially, for those listening, it's a kind of like a pistol squat, but I have a box set because I'm not doing a full pistol squat. So like a single leg box squat basically, and I also have a mini band set above the knee. So I'm almost thinking about pushing out a little bit. But dude, I was struggling so hard this morning doing it. And you'll see me adjust so many times. A little bit. It's not really the strength per se, but almost the stability. And I'm also trying to come down on the single leg as well.
You're trying to stay square as well.
I'm trying to stay square.
Here's
the big thing.
You off.
A lot of people, like our clients probably per se, would be like, oh, I can do this. And their hips are just going to move. Yeah. You want to keep your hips square because it's so easy to like tilt.
To tilt and lean.
But it's like, no, that's the problem. So trying to do that along with some other stuff that I've done. And I can feel I'm getting better. And I actually filmed it today so I could look a few weeks later and be like, okay, here's the progress. But, you do so much lifting and leg press, hack squat. I do plenty of free weight stuff, too, over the years. But it's just not the same as functional work. You know what I mean?
Listen to this.
Oh, fuck.
2015? Probably 16 at the latest, but definitely 15.
You CrossFit.
I could do a pistol squat on both feet. Like I could do the leg and I could do it. There's no way I could do it right now. No. But if you were to ask people I worked with back in 2015, I could do pistol squats on both foot. There's no way I could.
No.
That's just
your ankle wouldn't let you. Your hips wouldn't let you.
You just mentioning that, I was like, damn, I used to be able to do a pistol squat. There's no way I could do one right now.
No.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's tough because for years and even now, like I want to be that big motherfucker. I want people to look at me and have a big back, big legs, strong guy. But at the same time, I'd rather be that fucking functional 170-pound, like, lean motherfucker that's strong, too, that can do things with their body.
Because people are still going to think you're big.
The average person is still going to think you're big.
Yeah.
And I look at people that I think, aren't.
280.
Yeah. I look at people that are, like, leaner, that are, like, technically smaller, that aren't bodybuilders, but I'll still be like, damn, that's a great physique.
Yeah.
So my mind is shifting and letting some things go. I still think because of my lifting past and the lifting I still will always do, I'm bound to have a strong back and legs. I'm never going to look tiny. But I'm almost letting go of some of these, like, strong ties I have to those old ambitions, But I've been doing that, and then I told Maddie, I'm getting bored of shoulder and arm days. I do chest and back, legs, shoulder and arm day split, do it twice a week. But I'm getting bored as shit on those days, but at the same time, I want to still have big arms. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing my legs, chest and back, shoulder and arms, and I've been making my second leg day kind of like heavy deadlifts and then some functional stuff. But here's where I'll switch it up: is I'll do an upper body, like a full upper body, on like Saturday instead of just chest and back, and I'll throw in obviously some like arm supersets after that, and then on Sunday make it like a full functional day. So bring out the sandbag, the tire, kettlebell. I want to get more into kettlebell stuff, doing more snatches, cleans, all kinds of shit, But I just feel like it's not only going to make me more well-rounded and healthy overall, but I think it'll make me a better runner too, once I get kind of fully back to it. Because I've been running, progress has been going really well. I've been recovering and healing with the high T-band. It's been feeling great. But it's kind of like I always just feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I think I told you, just to keep things in check, not regress.
Yeah.
It's just kind of nerve-wracking, but yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I just want to feel good, man.
Yeah.
I'm at this point now.
Well, I know you're in the same boat. I feel like neither of us have been like 100% in a while.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I got some pretty cool news. Personal, I guess. Something to talk about.
Yeah.
So Saturday,
I talk enough, dude.
I went down Saturday morning and went down to the river property that we've been working on, which getting like it had a weird point, like a good like month, to where I was like, are we making any fucking progress with this place? Like, you know, you go down there and you'd be like, we spent 8 hours down here, but did we really get anything done? We were. It's just like it's real clutter on the inside of the house because we've been painting every single room, so everything's like shoved in the middle of each room. So it's like when you walk in there, it's a fucking mind fuck. But this past weekend, sun was out a good bit. Grass is fucking growing a little bit, which I realize may or may not stick around because it's like very, very young grass, but the sun could burn it up. But just seeing everything, walls are painted on the inside for the most part except the living room, and it's like, man, all right, so things are coming together. Then we had one of the biggest next moves for the house, which is getting that trailer ripped out. We had the contractor come back down for the final, marking everything, the trees, the trailer, the pool, everything that we wanted ripped out and nailed down on price and whatnot. And it should be done hopefully Wednesday or Thursday of this week.
You know, this kind of ties back to what we talked about earlier, where, you know, you could easily look at that and not, you know, see the end.
Yeah.
But, you know, in due time, keep chipping away, and then eventually you can see over that hill.
That's what my mom and I were talking about. Well, my mom,
I've seen it. It has come along.
Yeah.
Like, it's come a long way.
Along. And my mom, she was the one that brought it up. She was like, I feel like the past like 2 weeks, she asked me, she was like, are we getting anything done? I was like, yes. I was like, and plus, even though there might not be mountain moving, the fact that we're putting in those 8 hours here, those 6 hours there, or just going down there in general and doing something, that's taking away from us just not doing anything and then having to deal with it 3 months from now, you know?
Yeah.
Because we could be like, oh, well, since it's not ready to rent right now, we shouldn't even do any work. No, it's let's do what we can while we can. If we have free time, let's go do it, knock it out. So come 2 months from now or a month and a half from now when it's ready to rent, we aren't sitting like, oh, shit, our pants are down and we need to paint everything or we need to do the little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, you want it ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. But anyways, I took some before and after videos of before videos of the trailer and whatnot, and I really think it's gonna be a big transition for that property because it's such an eyesore. When you walk down there, it's like, oh fuck, we're in Bumville.
Yeah.
But big deal because it's the trailer's been there for at least the late '60s, early '70s, and it's just gonna open up so much down there.
Yeah, I think that'll be a big thing I mean, I've obviously seen the progress. And I knew it had potential, but you're absolutely right. Like seeing that trailer and seeing, you know, before you got there, all the debris and just bullshit there, it's hard to really see any value in it at first, you know. But you know, it's, and you know the cool thing too that I don't know if you really thought about is all the like DIY lessons you've probably learned along the way, you know.
A ton.
And you know, we've already kind of started to visualize and plan some things for our home, and I'm kind of realizing there's a lot of DIY stuff I'm going to learn along the way. I'm looking forward to.
And it's because it's almost like, and I mean, we both obviously have jobs, we have income coming in, but it's like, well, we could pay somebody to come in and fix this one little thing, or I could just bite the bullet and learn how to do it, and it'd be a skill that I'll have, and that's money we can put towards something else, you know. And it's just everybody goes through that in their own lives with whatever.
It's definitely a money thing, but I almost think of it even more as like you said, just having like life skills and having these basic skills, and it definitely like saves you time, saves you money, it gives you a sense of pride too. Like I almost wish I could just like Neo in the Matrix download Rich's skills with DIY. I mean, this man has built like a barn. He's done like I guarantee you gave him the resource, he could build a house by hand.
Yeah, and
like do the plumbing, probably almost do the electric too, all this shit. Like he just knows his stuff. And there's no secret. He didn't watch enough YouTube videos. He just knew by experience by listening to other people. I'm sure his dad and co-workers and friends are all blue collar dudes that just knew this stuff. And you only learn by doing, So
I almost have I had this deep in the back of my brain. It's like, man, if for some reason I wanted to pivot not that that's in my thoughts of pivoting out of this, but it's like, man, what if shit hit the fan and like I had to discontinue doing any supplements or training or whatever? I would definitely learn something to do with my hands. Like, even though I don't want to do physical labor, I'm not talking about like digging holes and shit.
And people pay for handyman work at night.
Like all these contractors are coming in, they're making loot.
Yeah,
because they're coming in, and it's not. I mean, some of the work's I'm sure going to be intricate and hard.
Yeah,
but it's like
they do make.
They're getting paid. They're getting fucking paid, and it's like, well, shit, man. That's the move, because then you have all the leverage, you have the skill, you have the know-how.
It's like the people that came in here and they were going to quote us like $800 to put in the water fountain. I was like, no. I was like, no, it's fine how it is actually.
But there's plenty of suckers that are going to be like,
yeah.
Not
absolutely,
more? Yeah.
Dude.
So, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, blue collar work, auto mechanic shit.
Because the more lazy, not everybody's lazy, but there's a lot of people that want to skip the blue collar, the roll up your sleeves work type shit, and get a little dirty.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a gap with like the next generation.
Yeah, it definitely could be, because as digital as things get, there's plenty of stuff that cannot be digital.
Yeah.
And that will always need to be, fixed and adjusted and things like that,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Anyways. Yeah, so hopefully give you all an update with that within the week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what's up with I don't know if it's just because people are at a certain age or what, with all these bodybuilders dying, dude.
Oh,
Cedric, too. I mean, apparently they knew there was some complication he had in December, so he kind of knew something was kind of going downhill. And, I'm obviously not under the belief that, steroids are killing people. Obviously they play an effect for sure, but it's not just that. But it is weird, man, that, because some things like Louis Simmons, he was an old bastard.
Yeah,
like, he was getting to it.
He had a long run.
But there's just been so much death recently in the bodybuilding community. Been like, I don't know, it's been a little like troubling. It's tough to see it. It's like tribute post after tribute almost,
Yeah. It could be a combination of a few things, but I mean, deep down, besides the drugs, the PEDs, like bodybuilding or like to that level is pretty intensive on your body,
Yeah.
The amount of foods you have to eat, the calories, and
I don't know if people. I don't really think people claim this, so it's not like I'm like having an aha moment. But I think the same goes for any. I can't say for any sport, but for bodybuilding and even like to powerlifting, as far as like joints and things, like these sports at high levels are not healthy.
No.
Like, sure, having like resistance training is healthy, so like some of the premises of it is, but when you take it to an extreme and you have 800 pounds on your back for reps, your joints, I don't care. It's not good for your joints, you know?
On top of that, they're doing that weighing 300 pounds, 350 pounds. That's a lot in general just to carry around.
Just to carry around with you, yeah.
If let's say, forget about the muscle mass, just 300 pounds of a fat person or a lean body person, you'd be like, oh, damn, they're not going to live that long.
Well, it's a lot to carry around, but it's the hardest part is for your heart to pump blood through that much muscle tissue.
100%. Because it needs oxygen.
Absolutely.
Even more than a fat person.
Even more, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's unfortunate because, maybe it is some underlying health thing that he had going on, but he was a little, you shouldn't be dying at 40 whatever he was, but he was a little bit older and he'd been competing for a long time. So it's a lot of preps, a lot of diuretics.
I would have expected Dexter, if anybody. Dexter's been through it.
But I think he's big, but he's always been like that.
He's been
like
consistent.
He's never
up. Yeah, he's never
he never gets super out of shape either.
That's what I mean. He's never forced it in one direction or the other.
Yeah. So maybe he's played the long game in a smart way. But at least with bodybuilding or any of those extreme sports, it's like, hey, you got a lifespan in that. You got a good 8-year run.
You got to get out.
Get in, get out. And if you ain't got it, don't even push it. It is wild, though, man. It's kind of, it could be scary, but fortunately none of us are, at least me and you, aren't pushing to that level of intensity.
We're fucking amateur pieces of shit at everything we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is scary, though, to just have something like that happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think I feel better knowing that I'm getting more consistent blood work. And who knows the background of him and all these other people, whether they were getting supervision or not.
Oh, my blood work came back clean.
Oh, good?
Yeah.
What's your test looking like?
I don't think they did. I was kind of hoping they did, but no, I think it was just they only did it for like
cholesterol,
metabolites, cholesterol, whatever the hell, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I was hoping it came back and they're like, you're like an X-Men or something like that.
Fuck.
I'd be like, sick. I knew it.
We need this guy to give samples.
Yeah.
To science.
Yeah.
But it feels good though. Doesn't it feel good? It's like, man.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't think there's something wrong, it's just something like,
it is good to know.
I'm taking care of myself.
Well, that's the thing too. Is I feel like my ducks in a row recently. Besides being slightly injured, but I'm doing the right things. I'm getting better. I feel like because of this, failures and issues in your life are what you make them. Obviously, you can't alter the past, but you can learn from it to improve your future. And I'm learning from these mistakes. It's frustrating, embarrassing, whatever the hell, annoying that these are. I'm taking those lessons and applying better things to my life. So what I mean is, been taking turmeric, pretty consistently now. I'm having like a fruits and greens supplement. I'm having a multivitamin. I'm doing yoga twice a week. I'm doing more of these functional movements. A lot of these things, you would have no reason to make these positive changes in your life unless you had issues arise.
Yeah.
And so, I'm taking those things. I feel great. I feel healthy. I have that peace of mind that I feel like I'm doing the right things. I'm putting the right supplements and foods in my body. And, it feels good to feel like you're in good hands.
You're just doing it right. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels better for me, even though I'm not out of the woods, but it's like, at least I'm taking the steps, like you're saying. I don't know. It feels good, man.
Yeah.
I just need to speaking of yoga, I need to do some. I'm not going to lift today. I lifted yesterday. I think that's what sparked my back up a little bit more. But
Telling you, man, you got to make it routine. You'll fucking do it.
Because I took a big old Epsom salt bath last night. And my tub's so small, I had to have my legs hanging out the sides.
I was like, you ain't going to fit in that. Yeah.
No, so I had my legs hanging out the sides and just laid up under the water for a good bit, man. And got out of that, hit my shit with electrodes. I don't know if you ever used a TENS unit? You got to get one. $30. It will blast your shit. You can put it on your legs, back.
Put it on your nuts.
Put it on your nuts. Put it on that muscle, the cock muscle down there.
Yeah.
But it's best investment now that I've had this going on because you can't really get your own back.
But so what is the idea of it? Because I thought of it always as like a therapeutic thing for if your nerves are having issues because it's more like muscle stimulation, right?
Yes.
Through electrodes.
But I have these muscles that are very tight and like tense. They're locked. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can almost feel them. They're like ropes back there.
So is the idea to stimulate them to release?
To release, yeah.
Okay.
So I shock them, and I do this one. You could do the two settings that I've been using. I feel like have worked the best for loosening my back. After I do it for 10, 15 minutes, I feel loose for a good hour or two, and then as the day goes on, I continue to do things or whatever. I just guard it, and it starts to tighten back up, which I need to work on that. But this locks those muscles up and then releases them, like forcibly. Locks them. Because, I mean, when it's naturally tight, like you can only do but so much stretching to get it to loosen up. But these electrodes just fucking send a pulse through it, tightens them up even more. And when it goes to let them go, you feel them relax almost.
Oh, okay.
Like it shocks them to the point that they get even tighter for a second.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because, it's almost like I think it's called PNF was like we learned in like physical therapy, this program I went through. Basically, it's like, you're almost like forcing some tightness and then like releasing, forcing some tightness and then like releasing, and like doing that through some like repetitions kind of allows the muscle to relax. So that there is some sense to that.
And the TENS unit's, obviously automatic, so it just does that for however long you want, 10, 15, up to 30 minutes, and it'll just tense, hold, and then it relaxes them. And you can hit that, or it has also like an automatic one to where it just sits there and slowly like twitches your shit. It's almost like a massage a little bit. And I'll hit that one after. But it helps for relief. I don't know if it's probably not fixing anything, but it gives me relief when I can't really get shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly has its value.
But yeah, man. I guess last update for myself is I've been biking.
Yeah.
Been cycling.
Well, I remember you went last week. Did you go again recently?
Yeah.
Good.
I went around here a little bit too. And
I think I saw
that was a short ride, like a little 3 or 4 mile ride. But I enjoyed that, man. And the first time I rode without headphones. It's the first time I've ridden outside without headphones because I didn't have any.
I told you, it's nice sometimes.
It was nice. And I feel like for my first day back doing that, just hearing the gears click, hearing the wind, hearing some people talking, hearing the tire hit some of the shit. It's a different experience. I don't know. You get a little bit like your mind actually wanders a little bit more.
Exactly. Your wine, yeah. I feel like I'm almost less bored and I can wander more when I have no music.
Yes. Now, if I was going for much longer than I did, maybe I'd want a little tune to pick me up.
Or podcast.
Because I did about an hour and a half that ride, and I was like, if I would have went another half an hour, I'd probably need some tunes to pick me up. But it was good, man. It felt good. Beautiful day. So I'm excited to get back out there a little bit and take it one step at a time.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say about with me running, because I know people don't care, is so my run's been better. Like 2 weeks ago, I did 17 miles. This last week, and I've just been sticking to 3 days and just slowly increasing the mileage. This past week was 16 miles, which included 2 6-mile runs.
Yeah.
And I was able to do both of those with no breaks, no walking breaks. So I haven't really done any walking breaks, which sometimes I'll do either scheduled or sometimes if I just get a little bit nervous, like, did I feel something in my knee? Did I feel something in the IT band area? I'll walk for like, a quarter mile or less and then pick it back up. But this week I'm going to do 4 tomorrow, 8 Thursday, and then, or either 8 Thursday and then 6 Saturday or switch that. But just keeping it, again, just like slow and controlled. I was telling you this weekend or whenever I last saw you, it's like every run I build up a little bit more confidence to where I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But there still is that, every time I extend a little bit more than I have in a while, I'm just so nervous. I'm like almost watching every step, every stride, just waiting for that, IT band to like hurt or twinge. And, it's just, I want to go into runs worried about my performance or workout, not worried about like injuring myself.
Yes.
And I can't wait to get back to it. And I'm trying to stay in the positive mindset that my recovery, my return, and me running these races I want to is inevitable. It may not be this year. It may not be like, easy to get there, but I'm just staying under the impression that it's inevitable.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got to pee. This has been a good show.
Yep.
And hopefully you guys got some motivation, got some information.
Yeah.
You figured out how you either flick or drain your dicky-doo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good time.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for supporting and reaching out when we had that hiatus. But we'll be back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Until next time, keep moving it forward.
See ya.
See ya.